the DORK podcast with Rich Keefe. It's the DORK podcast. Ryan Davey. It's the DORK podcast. Hashtag. It's the hashtag DORK podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Hashtag Dork. My name is Rich Keefe, joined as always by Davey Eyeballs. He is Rick Rude Vaughn, Dick Dude. He is Robin Von Dobbin. He is promo code Ron Von D.
There it is.
The King of Ginger Ale. It's Ryan Davey. Davey, how are you?
Hey, Rich.
Hey, Ryan.
I have this knife.
What are you going to do with that knife?
I have this knife.
Hey, that's a massive spoiler.
We'll get into that later.
That's a massive spoiler. If people haven't seen the film, Ryan, they're not going to understand the context.
So for those of you who not watching on the YouTube, I had a small paring knife, which I just presented to the camera. A short, stubby, a dink of a knife, a real dink of a knife.
I thought that was the same knife from the film. It looked eerily similar.
I found it. I saw it in the movie when I came out, but it's the exact. It's like this, pretty much the
same one.
Same one. Yeah.
That could do some damage, though.
It's it's a full tang, which I don't know if you know what that means, but it has like so the metal goes all the way through. It's not like
okay.
So if you look at the spine of it, see how the
It's
metal
got a
goes
little bit of
all the way
weight
through
to it, I would imagine.
Yeah, so it doesn't snap off, basically.
Yeah.
A steak knife will snap off on you, but
Ryan, you mentioned a little bit of a dink of a knife. This is not a dink of an episode. This might be the opposite of that.
Yes, it is. This is a hog.
It's an absolute unit. And now somebody was all over it on Twitter. They said, this kind of goes against small dick fall. And you're right.
You're right.
But when you have two major topics like this colliding on one weekend, what the hell else are we supposed to do?
And not only that, when you're talking about dicks and horror movies, right? What do they have in common? Horror movies and dinks. Or just dick in general. Right?
Dick. Yep.
You always go for gasps in horror movies so that's what we're doing.
We're going for gasps.
We're going for gasps tonight.
We are absolutely going for gasps, and that's what we're going to do. So let's hit the ground running, and let's get right into this.
This week in DORK.
Josh Clark in the chat said this episode is piped.
It is. This episode is absolutely piped. Get in on
absolutely piped up. Kid's got an absolute hammer of an episode right now.
We've been warming it up for about 20-30 minutes. It's warm.
We got a crew of people fluffing.
You can't warm it up.
It's like a windsock.
Just warm it up a little bit. It's fine.
Bat it around a little bit. Get a little slap, Just get the blood moving down there.
Yeah. Come on. Just, waking it up a little bit.
Oh, what a start. What a start.
We're fun. Oh, my God. I've been looking forward to this episode since all this stuff came out. So we're going to start. It's really a double topic du jour, but basically the news this week is going to be everything from DC FanDome. It's the second year they've done a DC FanDome, which is just an online event. I think it was roughly 4 hours on Saturday, where it's just on their website, commercial free, and it's just one after another of teasers, trailers, behind the scenes, news. What are you laughing about now?
It's just like all the mediocrity you can fit into a shoe. Like that's what we're doing at DC FanDome. All right shit.
I liked it very much. I'm excited for a lot of the DC stuff that's coming out. And again, it's not just movies. It's also their TV shows. They had video game news, which I know you're going to want to hit on.
Yeah.
Even some comic book news and things like that. So let's just start with the single biggest reveal from the entire thing. Rather than messing around, let's just dive right into it. Because we could literally do an entire episode just on this.
I will spend 5 minutes on every frame of this thing.
This was the first full trailer for The Batman.
And speaking of going for gasps, speaking of absolute pipe city, this thing looks awesome.
I am so excited for this movie. I don't think it can be hyped up enough. And it's coming out relatively soon. March 4th is not that far off.
It's not that far off. And we'll just mention it here, but there was a slew of Marvel movies that we just released today. The calendar came out and a lot of stuff's getting pushed back. So it's nice to have this where it's like, this is coming pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Coming with a U. And I'm glad you mentioned the Marvel movies. They all basically got punted one side. Like they basically have dates. Disney Marvel has dates. Like here's when we release movies, and everything got basically like punted one.
Yes. So like a month and
Doctor Strange
5 weeks or something. Yeah.
I forget what the order is. I tweeted it out at Dork Podcast, but basically like Doctor Strange now has like Thor's date. Thor's date has Black Panther's date, and so on. So
yeah. So what you were saying, by the way, what you were saying about Scream, and staying hydrated, that's how I felt about the Batman trailer.
Just in my past.
Sam.
And reading the description and the thing that came out of it was like nearly 3 hour long,
great
crime noir story,
great,
featuring Batman in his early years and a journal that Batman writes that's going to be like a voiceover by Robert Pattinson.
Oh my God. It feels like it's going to be the closest thing we had to one of the Arkham video games as a movie. Don't you think?
Oh God. Yeah. Like,
and
it's just
like year 2, would you say, Batman?
Yeah. So he's been I think he's been at this a little while, to the point where like Alfred is obviously in the trailer. He's concerned about what the hell is going on. But he's not really trying to stop him. But
no, he's doing his thing.
And I'm telling the person who is going to absolutely crush this movie is Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin
and Zoe Kravitz.
So I thought you were going to go Zoe Kravitz. That's my pick for MVP of the movie. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and Michelle Pfeiffer right now is the best Catwoman. Anne Hathaway was fine. There were some of the old school Catwomen as well. Unfortunately, Halle Berry's movie was just so terrible.
No,
but Zoe Kravitz has a chance to be the best Catwoman for sure.
She really, really does. She really does. Oh, she looks great. Like, and I don't mean like we're not objectifying. Like,
I understand.
As the character, she looks
Catwoman,
good.
Looks awesome as Catwoman. Now, the Colin Farrell role as Penguin to me is crazy. Like, what the hell? Who came up with that? Like, did he pitch himself? He's like, I could do this, because that's not the first person you would think of when you're like, who'd be the best Penguin?
Me, probably.
Yeah, you would
as a human chode. Yeah, I would be a nice human chode variety of person.
We've cast Bruce Valanche as Penguin.
Hi guys, that's my Bruce Valanche. I don't even know if that's what he sounds like. That's what he sounds like to me, though.
Oh, I gotta tell you, I've been keeping this under my hat, but it's not really gonna happen. So last year, for your birthday, I got you the Billy Mitchell cameo.
Yes.
You know who I tried to get?
Bruce Valanche.
Bruce Valanche. It was my wife's idea. It was Katie's idea. I almost fell on the floor. I'm like, that's the best one ever. And so he's on there, but it's one of those things where it's like, Bruce isn't taking things now, but like you'll get an email when he's active again. I'm like, he's not coming back.
And again, when we were talking about Bruce Valanche the first time, and I still have to remind myself that he's not dead. Like, I keep thinking he's dead.
Oh, he's
like, isn't he dead?
Oh, he's doing great.
Is he?
He's doing.
He's out there. He's doing it.
He's doing. But the Batman trailer is a little over 2 minutes, and I cannot wait for this movie. It looks like he's doing real detective work. It looks like it's going to be gritty. Robert Pattinson's a really good actor. I'm excited for Colin Farrell. I'm excited for the Riddler and sort of a non-cartoon version of the Riddler that we saw before.
And what I always loved about when the Riddler is written correctly, he's smarter than Bruce Wayne.
Correct.
And I think that's like, that kind of the driving force behind that character is like, he's just trying to prove that he's smarter than the world's greatest detective. And I think that's the version we're going to get.
I think so too. I think Jeffrey Wright, who I love as Commissioner Gordon, is going to be really, really good. Yes. So I'm pumped for the whole thing. Now, one of the questions that Goo had, I know he was talking about it, is there's like an inaudible line that I don't know what the hell he's saying. It's something like,
to me it sounds like, what have you done? Do we have it on the board?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I know what he said.
Give me that.
Is that what he's saying in the prison?
I think that's it. I think that's you nailed it.
I have one minor complaint, believe it or not, about the Batman, and see where you stand on this. I feel like Robert Pattinson's hair is too long as Batman, as Bruce Wayne. As Bruce Wayne,
it is
a little long.
Is it going to be slick back or push back? That's what we need to find out, because he looks like I think it's in a little bit of disarray when you see it, but I would like it to be a little cleaner.
That's one of my
You know what I mean? Like kind of like that Bruce Wayne, like
it's
very,
a little floofy for me because like the show Titans, which I actually really like a lot. The Dick Grayson Nightwing character, his hair is also a little much, a little loose. It's like, all right,
Little Dickie's his hair's been long at times though.
Like, all right, frat boy,
yeah,
get a cut,
take it easy,
in there.
Yeah.
I honestly, I am so excited for the Batman. 2022 has a pile of movies that I am so excited for. You have Scream in January, you have Batman, you have that slate of MCU movies, and you even have some more DC movies. But Batman's going to be the balls. Anything else on the Batman?
No, I hope this is it. I hope this is all we find out about this movie.
I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else. I'm trying not to overthink it. I thought about doing a trailer breakdown, but then I'm like, I don't want to either spoil anything for myself or potentially spoil something for everybody. I'm just excited. The characters all look good. I like where it's headed. Matt Reeves, great director. I'm in.
I like that you haven't really seen much of Paul Dano yet.
Right.
As the Riddler. I'm glad could you imagine the original casting of that was Jonah Hill? Remember that? Like that he was briefly attached to this?
Yes. Or was that a real thing, or was that
was a real thing? Like he was attached to play, and then he took a thing. He's directing a movie now, like another movie.
Jonah Hill is.
Yeah. So I think he's doing that instead.
Do you think we'll get a surprise villain or a surprise reference? Because right now we know Penguin, Riddler, and then whatever you want to call Catwoman. We know they're all in it. Do you think we get somebody else?
You have to. You have to get this.
At least a reference to.
Yes.
Do you think, now this could be out there, could you get the Joker, and would he say this?
I'm joking.
Yes, I think he would. I think he would have to say that. Yeah.
I wonder if they sort of ended. Is the plan here to be like a trilogy of films, and are they going to do this and then end it with like sort of a tease ahead to the next? Like I don't know. Either way,
I mean, this is the perfect. You think of like all those graphic novels we talked about that were the best in the Batman series, and a lot of them are like standalone, but they're like I like the detective stories.
So do I.
You know, like Long Halloween and Hush, and like I love those mysterious ones.
And so this this is outside of the DCEU. And again, maybe they could tie it all in because it is kind of coincidental that Marvel and DC both seem to be going to multiverses at about the same time.
Yeah, and it's kind of like who can kind of do it better. I think Marvel doesn't have to. I think Marvel's done such a good job, but I really think that DC need to do this.
But I believe this Batman takes place on like Earth 2. At least I think that might be what they sort of do. Whereas this is not obviously the Ben Affleck Batman.
Right.
If there is a Joker in this world, it probably won't be Jared Leto unless the Flash movie,
speaking of,
does something like that. And let's go right into that.
Yeah.
So there was a teaser for the Flash because this movie's not coming out until November 4th of 22.
Right.
So Ezra Miller presented basically like a teaser type clip, but you get what looks to be a bunch of different flashes. And as we already know, which kind of sucks again, that like a lot of these surprises are taken out, but Michael Keaton's Batman is going to be in this, as well as Ben Affleck's Batman. So
which, I mean, cool. This could be cool.
This could be cool. And this could be the biggest thing for DC films going forward, because this has the chance, if this is good, to say, hey, forget about the crap ones, remember the good ones, and now let's start with this world with all the good characters and all the good actors that we like.
Yeah, and I think I might be in the minority, but I really like Ezra Miller as
remember that scene? Oh, Ezra Miller's great as the Flash.
As Barry Allen, yeah.
Remember when Ezra Miller, that video that came out on Twitter?
Yeah.
What was he doing? It was like a fan that like kind of attacked him, and then
so this girl was like
attacked him,
like super aggressive, and he kind of like he kind of shoved her, and then was like talking shit. And I think it was like one of those things where had it not seen the beginning of the video, he would have been like canceled immediately. But like
right, but there's more
stories started coming out that the girl was being like super really aggressive and and being inappropriate and like grabbing him and stuff. And you know, I mean, I'm telling you right now, remember when we brought we brought the independent wrestling company to school.
Oh, no.
And one of the things that really stuck with me is they were talking about there was one of our classmates was being like really inappropriate during the show, and one of the wrestlers telling me that like, no, it was a big kid. I won't say his name on the
yeah,
and he was being like, I think he was drunk or high or something, but he was being like really inappropriate and like almost got in the ring.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the wrestlers telling us that like, if you get in the ring, all bets are off. And it's not, we can kick the shit out of you legally.
Yeah, you see it all the time, actually. Well, I shouldn't say all the time. You see it a decent amount where drunk guys storm like an AEW or WWE run in, and then the wrestlers like they can and should beat the bag out of the guy.
Right. So the reason I tell that story is like if I was ever famous and anyone ever touched me, I'd lose my shit.
Yeah, you'd attack them.
No, what like if someone like grabbed me, like I would punch them to get them off me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it was fine. Like it kind of went away, that story.
If someone touched me, I would beat them off.
Yeah. What?
Is what?
It's not good behavior.
So Flash, anyway. So we're moving on to the Flash here, and it looks pretty good. Michael Keaton.
I've seen every cock on the planet.
So I'm excited for the Flash as well, but I think that's a real. So I think the Batman's going to be the best movie without question, but the Flash might be the most important, at least for the future of the DC universe.
So yeah, it's great that Michael Keaton's playing old Batman and Biff Whiff will be playing old Penguin.
He'd be a great Penguin. He'd crush this Penguin. No, he'd be good as the ventriloquist.
What are you, dumb?
What'd you say? I said, you don't give a shit, do you?
Not really.
How about this? They kick things off with the first real look at Black Adam, starring The Rock, who is so fucking pumped up for this, like both figuratively and literally. He can't wait. He is excited about this as Ryan Reynolds was for Deadpool.
And I think this was one. So I was reading a Uber Facts or something like that about this movie. This has been in development for like 8 or 9 years, and he has been signed on to play Black Adam longer than the MCU has existed.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
The movie comes out July 29th of
Finally.
22. Finally is right. But I think this is great. And the fact that he hasn't played a role in the Marvel or DC universe to this point is insane because he is a real life superhero.
And he is locked in to Black Adam. Like he's all about it. And reading I remember when he first signed on for this project, like reading about how intense he was about playing this role and being kind of like the anti-Superman, like the Superman who kills people, basically.
Yeah, and I think eventually you can cross him over with Superman, with Shazam, with a bunch of these characters, because he keeps talking about changing the DC universe, and like the DC universe needs to be on notice because here comes Black Adam. Like he's going to be a major player. Like I think the hope is he is the Robert Downey Jr. of the DC universe.
I hope so. I mean,
I hope so too.
Every movie this guy makes makes $100 million. So
this is going to be cool as shit to watch. Now, whether the movie's good or not, just the first clip of it looks like they put a lot of money into this shit, and it's going to be, I'm pretty pumped. So you have the Batman, then you have Black Adam, then you have the Flash, in that order in 22. And then the fourth movie from DC that comes out is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, not till December 16th. So there's no trailer, no teaser, but we did get our first look at the villain, Black Manta, and we actually have a quote from Black Manta.
Too much fucking shit on me. I can't breathe.
Just a Scuba Steve is what we're looking at with laser eyes.
He is one of the better DC villains, but it's hard to like it. It's fucking goofy, right? Like it's like same with Aquaman. Like Aquaman can be pretty sweet, but it's also like, okay,
like he looks like a dipshit. Like look at him.
He looks like a dipshit. Black Manta looks like a little bit like a dipshit. But he was in the first movie, but not like full on as Black Manta. Now he's got the suit for this one.
And it was funny because people were like talking about in the first one how Black Manta was kind of wasted.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we want more Black Manta. And then you see this and you're like, maybe not.
We might have had enough.
We might have had enough of that.
So we'll fucking see. But so there's 4 DC movies. And then they also had a behind the scenes look at Shazam Fury of the Gods, which is scheduled to come out June 2nd of 23. the first Shazam movie is one of the better DCEU movies.
Correct.
Zachary Levi's good. I'm in on this next one.
Yeah, and I think I'm in on this next one, and I think Black Adam's going to show up in this.
Yeah,
right?
I would think so. At least there's got to be. I wonder if they even end credits of Black Adam have some sort of Shazam thing. Like they got to tie those in.
I mean, they have to, right?
This movie's so far off that. Yeah, how could you not bring The Rock in for this?
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that you do. You also got news, Ryan, that there will in fact be a Wonder Woman 3.
Go ahead. So the best thing about this is like Patty Jenkins is like, this one's going to surprise people. And then I like responded to the tweet like it's going to be good. Like, is that the surprise? Like, this one's actually going to make fucking sense.
So I look at it a little bit like this. The first one was pretty good. The second one was terrible. So this could be a bit of a tiebreaker, a la Jessica Jones. And by the way, it's a good time to announce that next week we're going to do Jessica Jones season 3.
Perfect. And it's a perfect time to do it too. Like the last weekend or the second to last weekend of October. It's a perfect time to do it.
JJ season 3. But that's actually Jessica Jones season 1 was better than Wonder Woman, the first movie. But the second season was as bad as 1984.
It's funny. Like I really, really liked the first Wonder Woman the first time I saw it. And then it got worse every time I watched it.
Yeah, because I'm with you. Like to me, I would say The Suicide Squad, Shazam, Birds of Prey are all better than the first Wonder Woman.
Correct.
Okay.
At the time, it was the best DC movie.
Those are the movies, I believe. Oh, no, let me throw this in there. Animated film, Catwoman Hunted. Oh, by the way, we tweeted like all of these out at Dork Podcast so you could scroll through. We also dusted off the blog. That's right. We have a blog.
We never still around?
We don't put it. Well, no, I mean, I have to. Just go to dorkpodcast.blogspot.com and I basically just posted all of these. So it's like an easy place to go see them all.
All right.
It's there.
It's your one-stop shop.
Hunted, animated film, Catwoman and Batwoman kind of as a team up. Most of the animated movies are good with DC. Most of them. Not all.
Most of them are good. Some of them are Killing Joke was an absolute dump.
Was an absolute piece of shit. I used to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But
it was slick back hair.
You think this
can we add that to our rating system?
Like where it's like tweeted us. They had
someone tweeted it was a really good one.
Yeah.
Where like a 4 should be, was it tattoos?
Yeah, I think so.
So going 6-1, we go laser beams, fireballs, nothing, and then
Friar's helmet is
2, and then Cho jeans. So 3 and 4, one of them should be slick back hair. Like a real piece of shit. Like it's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, but a 3 is not really a piece of shit.
Push-backed. It's pushback hair.
I don't know.
And then what was the one the guy said?
Yeah, he said it was like, something was not. It's not good behavior. I don't
give a shit.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Laser beam! It's better than fireballs, you pussy.
By the way, the Batman trailer, laser beams.
Oh my god, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, was it laser beams? I think the Flash might have been at least
it's a fireballs.
Fireball.
Yeah,
it's a fireballs.
It's time for Davey's video game minute. Even if it takes more than a minute.
So let's do this because I know you have some real news. We're not done with DC FanDome yet, but I just we're
gonna weave it. We're gonna dovetail these two things together.
That's what we're doing right now. It's all about synergy here on the podcast.
Speaking of synergy, so this part of the program is brought to you by our friends at Wild Bill Soda. Go to drinkwildbills.com. Use the promo code Ron Von D. Get you some. Now.
Oh, this is a bad idea, by the way.
4 should be sloppy steaks?
4 could be sloppy steaks and 3 could be a chunky.
All right. I like that.
Not bad.
It's not. I don't care about it.
I don't care about it.
So the news coming out of...
You can't talk! Chunky, the mouth on the... Don't come over by me! Stay over there! Figure out what you do! You had all summer to think of it.
Yeah, dump it.
It's gonna suck anyway.
So, two things that I want to mention before we get to the FanDome news, just to get it out of the way. It was recently revealed that Guardians of the Galaxy, the video game, the PC download of this game, PC load letter for this game, 150 gigs.
What do I gotta do?
It's as big as fucking Warzone. It's huge.
Insane.
Yeah. Speaking of insane, EA is just losing licenses all over the place. FIFA announced today that they're ditching EA. Good.
Why
Hockey.
good?
Hockey, you're next.
FIFA's a good game though.
FIFA's a good game, but like EA sucks. Like EA as a company stinks.
All right.
Another video game. So comic book video game news. People are pissed. I haven't talked about this, I don't think, on the Video Game Minute yet because it's kind of been developing, but people are pissed at the Avengers game. Remember they promised all the content was going to be downloadable content is going to be free.
Oh yeah.
And then they did this play to win thing where you can actually buy. They nerfed the experience points for players who were leveling up too quickly, and then they are making you buy experience points now.
Oh boy,
like this game. Talk about a litany.
Experience, Ryan. You got to experience.
Oh, by the way, Ghostface and Frank the Rabbit from Donnie Darko are going to be in Call of Duty in Warzone.
I know. I'm like, should I play just because of Ghostface?
The thing is, Frank the Rabbit like really a horror character? I don't think so.
I mean, I don't think Donnie Darko is necessarily a horror movie, but that is horrifying.
Hey, hot take. I hate that movie. Never liked that movie. Never saw the whole fucking thing with it. Didn't get it. I didn't mind it. I was in my collection. But I think it was one of those things where people like overhyped it, and I thought it was like the greatest thing since.
As to steal a line from Family Guy, it insists upon itself.
Yeah, people are pitching it like it's the greatest thing since fake cans. It's not.
It's not.
Anyway,
yeah.
So moving on. So the two things we need to talk about right now. First, they come out with a shit hot trailer for Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, which is Rocksteady's new game, which is the people who made the Arkham series. They hadn't really told us what they were working on. There was rumors that they were making like a Superman game, an open world Superman game, which has never worked. But this is better. So the premise is that Harley Quinn, Boomerang, Deadshot, and King Shark get sent to Metropolis to kill the Justice League. And you didn't really know who was going to be in the game, but you knew that from the first trailer that the big bad was good. You're going to actually have to kill Superman, which is awesome. And like Brainiac is like kind of taking over the Justice League. And in the trailer, you see, I believe, Green Lantern, the Flash, Superman, and another unknown character who had like a golden sword. It might have been Wonder Woman. So it might have been Wonder Woman.
I thought Wonder Woman, yeah.
So you see like a sword, and then you see Wonder Woman. So those are at least 4 we know of.
Awesome.
If Batman shows up, all the better. But the rumor is that this game you can play as any of the 4 characters, and it's co-op, so you can play as like a team of 4, which is going to be
good,
so fun.
That one's so bad.
And the one that you and I have already earmarked to play together is Gotham Knights, which we will stream right here on YouTube as soon as we both get our hands on that game. And this even goes deeper in this trailer to show you more of the Court of Owls, more Talon, and kind of more of the story. And fuck, man, this looks good.
It looks so good. And this is great too. And I hope it does well to show you that you can be in the Batman universe without having to highlight Batman, because it's Nightwing, it's Batgirl, it's Red Hood, and it's Robin.
But the Tim Drake Robin. So it's Tim Drake.
Yeah, so like Red Robin.
Barbara Gordon. Yeah, Red Robin.
Call him, but yeah. So who are you?
I would love to see a Damian Wayne downloadable character.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because I feel like that just fits perfectly. Who are you going to choose?
Nightwing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm going with Nightwing.
All right, so
I don't even have to ask you, because I noticed I didn't. If I said Red Hood, you would have like hit like fuck you. Who the fuck?
Would have signed right off. Like this guy's out. Yeah. So we need to find a Batgirl and a Red Robin.
See, this one I thought when it first came out, it said you could only be a team of 2.
Oh, okay.
But then if we do, I mean.
But you know what's funny is they said this game is kind of crazy where we could play together and then we could play separate and then like re-team up and like still move the game along. I think that's what it said, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So I won't play any of the story without you. Like I'm just going to go level up.
I go do side missions. Yeah, we can fucking crank up our character. I can't wait. So that's great. All right, anything else?
You
on
just
this?
can't shoot. You can't shoot innocent people. I feel like the
As Red Hood, I can't commit to that right now.
And so, as choosing of the characters, I think it's wildly appropriate that I would choose Dick Grayson and you would choose Jason Todd.
100%.
Me being the voice of reason and the Bat family being like, you can't just fucking run around shooting people.
Right.
And you being like, why not?
You have like batons. I have actual guns. That's sort of the
like
difference.
what? And you pointing the gun at me and be like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to smack you with this club. And I'll say, all right, well,
All right, I'm going to shoot you in your face. Yeah.
Speaking of shooting you in your face, let's get back to DC FanDome. Let's get back to some of these TV shows. And we got a full trailer for Peacemaker, starring John Cena, which comes out January 13th on HBO Max. And he was a great character in The Suicide Squad. And James Gunn wrote all 8 of these episodes. He directed 5 of these episodes. This show's going to be awesome.
And it looks batshit.
Like
this, him and Vigilante doing like target practice, like using bottles and guns as dicks, like that. I mean, that sells me right away. You know, his father with the bald eagle giving him a hug, like I was and like I think Steve Agee is hilarious. The guy, the fat guy who actually played King Shark. He was in the suit.
Oh yeah, okay.
But he was also in the movie as like one of like the analysts. He's fucking hilarious. He's a great follow on Twitter too, by the way.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
We also got more news that they're going to pick up season 4 of both Titans and Doom Patrol.
Both of these shows fucking off the rails with these things, huh? Oh my
god!
So
I tried Doom Patrol because there was a crossover. Season 1 of Titans, there was a crossover with Doom Patrol. I tried Doom Patrol, couldn't really get into it. Not that it's a bad show. You just, again, you can't watch everything.
It's wacky.
But Titans, I like. I'm almost caught up. I think they have the season finale coming out soon for season 3. I'm almost caught up. It's been fun. It's been a really good. They got Red Hood and Scarecrow this season, so it's been fun as hell. I love the guy who plays Nightwing is great. They got Barbara Gordon now in this. She's a big part of this season. It's really good. So I'm excited for that. We also got a teaser for the Harley Quinn animated show, which a season 3 is going to come out. People love this show. I've only seen a few episodes. For some reason, I haven't been able to like just sit and fully binge it.
Nope.
I've liked what I've seen, but I've not. I'm way behind.
Same. And I think people tell you have to get through like the first 3 episodes. They're not short.
They're like a half hour.
I know, but they're like they feel longer. The first 3 episodes feel longer.
I haven't been able to rip through it like I should. I keep like starting the same episode of the same one over again. It's good. I like the Harley Quinn Poison Ivy duo is awesome.
Yes.
But,
and I think I said it on Twitter. Like I'm starting to get kind of Harley Quinn fatigue. Like I'm trying to like, I think we've kind of taken this character as far as she can go.
Although I think this movie, or I'm sorry, not the movie, the video game is going to help. The Suicide Squad video game.
That'll help because, and again, Tara Strong is voicing her again, which is for me. I won't listen to who's it's the chick from Big Bang Theory, right? Kaylee Cuoco who's doing
Kaylee Cuoco
in this.
Yep. And then Lake Bell does Poison Ivy, and she's really good.
She does actually really good voiceover work. I just watched something that she was. She was in she was Black Widow in What If?
Correct.
So she does good voiceover work. But
she does. Speaking of voiceover work, how about the Injustice animated movie? Interesting? No?
Just play the game, man.
Game's good. The game's really good. You know who I liked in the game, who is going to get his own movie on HBO Max? Blue Beetle.
Yes.
Blue Beetle's a cool character. Blue Beetle has not been featured really in anything. Again, is in the Injustice game, or at least in Injustice 2, and is good in it. And the kid who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai is playing Blue Beetle, which is like the first like Latin superhero, I guess. Like they have been one, so like that part is great. Good.
It's actually really cool, and his name is pretty hard to pronounce.
The actor's name.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I think it's just like Jamie or Jaime Reyes, but
it's Jamie Reyes. But I don't know how you say the actor's name.
Nope. I'm not gonna try it.
I'm not gonna try it because it would be more offensive for me to try it than for me to tell you I don't know how to pronounce it.
There's some more CW news. So I used to watch the shit out of the CW shows, but there's so much of it, and it was just after Arrow kind of ended, I'm like, all right, I'm kind of done. But if you are a fan of that, there was Superman and Lois season 2 behind the scenes. Stargirl sneak peek, Batwoman sneak peek, and I think they also had a thing about there's been 100 episodes now of what Legends of Tomorrow.
That's crazy to me.
It is so
crazy to me.
They do 23 episode, 1 hour per episode seasons. It's crazy how much content they have. It's hard to like when it was just Arrow and Flash. I'm like, all right, I can do this. And then all of a sudden they're like, we have Supergirl and we have Batwoman and we have Black Lightning, and like they had a show on every night. I'm like, and then Riverdale. I know Riverdale's not in that universe, but it could be. It's DC.
Yet.
It could be. How about this? So there's another DC property, not superhero property. It's called DMZ, and it's going to be a limited series on HBO Max starring Rosario Dawson.
I will watch it. Shot. And she's in a new show on, I think it's Hulu, with Michael Keaton called Dope Sick. It's about like the opioid crisis in America.
Shit.
I really want to watch it,
by the way.
And so is he. And I want to watch this, but I know I'll walk away pissed. So this one, I have to be in the mood to watch it. Like I don't want to be in a bad mood after watching something, and I know I will be watching that show.
No, that's definitely true.
So the one thing that I'm taking away from DC FanDome and looking at the list right now and looking at all the trailers and looking at our blog,
you put the blog up.
The one character who I think got kind of done dirty in this whole thing is Superman. We got nothing. We got nothing from Cavill.
Although people liked season 1 of Superman and Lois.
Yes.
TV show. So at least you have the character out there. You know so I thought you were going to say of all the major players in the DC universe, Green Lantern.
No Green Lantern, no Joker.
Nope.
No Superman.
Nope.
And so this is why I was kind of like the good in this, the highs in this were super high.
So give me your 3 favorite things from the thing.
Number one,
take the Batman out of it.
Okay,
that doesn't matter. Batman's everybody's favorite. Take your 3 favorite things from this.
I was
Batman.
Finally happy to see some Black Adam. Like I really wanted to see just kind of like how the suit looked and how all that stuff looked.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was the 2 video games. Obviously, but like those are the
awesome.
way. Jesus, the game. I know it wasn't gameplay, but looking at the Suicide Squad trailer and just what Rocksteady's doing in terms of graphics is incredible.
So I'm with you. I would say the video games and Black Adam. I honestly think the Flash was impressive, and to see or to hear Michael Keaton's voice and to get some of that Flash stuff, I'm really intrigued by the Flash. I think Peacemaker's going to be good, and then just confirming a season 4 of Titans, I was excited about. So like to me, it was like that's a nice day. That's a little 4-hour event on a Saturday, all free, all available online, just pumping out trailers and stuff. That was good stuff.
Yeah, I was in the middle of getting just absolutely piped in a high school football game. Well, not my team was, not me. We come in second most days.
Okay. What's the record?
0-4.
Okay. How many more? 4 more left?
4 more left, yep.
Okay. Well, you know what they say.
You can't win them all. You can't watch them all, can't win them all.
All right, that's DC FanDome. So we also mentioned about how the Marvel movies all got kind of postponed a little bit, and also in the news. I know, Ryan, you don't watch the show, but Succession on HBO is back. Season 3 debuted last night. This show's awesome. I'm a big fan of this show.
And I was wondering because there's always an HBO show on Sunday night, and I asked myself at like 4 p.m. after the Patriots game was over. I'm like, wonder what's on HBO now. Like what's the thing on HBO now?
It just came back.
Yeah. So and then I saw that it came back yesterday, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on FanDome or
it was something. It was something to see. Yep.
Should we get to the second topic du jour?
Yeah, I got a good flop going right now. I'm ready to get even bigger.
Y'all ready for bisque? Well, Ryan, I'm glad you asked. It's the second topic of the day, and today it is the movie Halloween Kills.
Last week, I saw a film. As I recall, it was a horror film.
1 hour and 45 minutes. It was released both in the theater and on Peacock. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it is currently scoring 40% via the critics and 71% by the audience. We begin, as we always do, with our movie and TV reviews, spoiler free. Ryan, did you like it?
No, I did not.
Fuck you, dickhead.
Now, I could say this with a caveat. This movie, before you even ask me the score, I can tell you this is, to a T, a Friar Magneto helmet. I wanted to like it.
I'm not there yet.
I wanted to like it.
It's not good behavior.
It looked okay from far away. Once I got into it, though, nope.
No. Well,
And I have a very specific reason why that we'll talk about in spoilers, but
yeah.
not great.
I liked the soundtrack though.
The bones are their money, so are the worms. They pull your hair up, but not out to turn into a man and have another chance at life. But if they pull it out, they turn to bones.
I didn't know if I said it or not.
I wanted to like the movie.
Yes.
I wanted to.
So bad.
I'm a big fan of the Halloween franchise. And to me, it wasn't great. Now, did you see it at home or in the theater?
Not at home.
I also saw it at home as well. What did you think of the first? So again, Halloween franchise is
all over the place.
Fucked.
Yeah.
This is the 12th Halloween movie, but you have Halloween 1978, followed by the sequel, Halloween 2, then Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, had nothing to do with Michael Myers, but they still called it Halloween 3 because they were going to make it an anthology series, and then they just didn't. Then you have the return of Michael Myers, Halloween 4, which sort of has nothing to do with 3, but it's like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Then Halloween H2O comes out, which ignores 4, 5, and 6. Then you have Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes. Busta Bust. Then you have.
By the way, you had Buster only on the show today, and every time you'd be like, "Hello, gentlemen, how are you?" Be like, "Busta Bus," like call him Busta Bus next time he gets on the phone.
You know what? We should next time we have him on the show, we'll play Busta Rhymes like intro, like
Please
rejoin.
do. Give me some more.
That's a great call. Yeah. Give me some more. I love Busta Rhymes. But anyway, so Busta Rhymes, he karate kicks them. It's the whole thing. That's the movie. So that's sort of like its own timeline. And then you had Rob Zombie doing like a remake. So Halloween, they just call it Halloween, then Halloween 2. So it's like a mini little remake, boom, boom. And then you have the Danny McBride Halloween, which is not a remake like the Rob Zombie. It is sort of a sequel to the 1978 movie, even though they have the same goddamn title.
And then this is where this movie loses me.
Okay. Halloween Kills, which is part of like a trilogy, but it's a trilogy that recognizes the first one. So it's kind of a microbrew 4-pack, if you will. But is it? Is it, Ryan? Is it?
And this is where it pisses me off.
But let me ask you, just for the sake of this. Now you can check the archives, anybody out there listening. We did a standalone episode on the first, I'm going to call it the Danny McBride Halloween.
Yep.
And what was that, 2 years ago? You can check that out in the archives. Just to remind everybody, what did you think of that one?
It was great. It was like a straight ahead horror movie. Like there was no, to me with it was made like the first one was. It was just straight ahead, no goofy shit. It was just the shape, like Michael Myers, like getting out of the hospital and going right back to what he was doing before. He got the mask back yet, and I liked and this is not a spoiler. If you haven't seen this, it's like 3 years old, so go to hell.
No, you can spoil that one.
There was a nice twist where like the doctor was actually like helping him.
Yeah, like he was kind of pushing him towards he's the one that brought him back to Haddonfield. He's the one that was like Charlie, like kind of saved him in a way, kind of kept him going. Yeah.
So that was a nice little wrinkle to the whole thing. But
yeah, I liked it too, but it wasn't great. Like I think I forget if I gave it a 4. Like I think it was fine. Like it was good. It was probably sloppy steaks. It was solid. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of the story of this one?
Sucked. It sucked. And again, the reason being because we've decided the Danny McBride, the first one, the Danny McBride one was going to be essentially Halloween 2, his version of Halloween 2, how it should have gone, right?
Yes.
Ignoring the rest of the movies.
Right.
But then in this one,
yeah,
they bring fucking everybody back from all of the sequels. That doesn't make any sense.
Not just that, but I have something in spoilers I got to get off my chest.
I do too. And like they all right, we're gonna ignore 3 through 12 or
all
whatever,
of them,
right?
like all the other ones.
Ignore them. But we're gonna bring back major characters from all of those movies.
Right.
And make one up for some reason.
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Did you find it scary at all?
No.
Yeah, I know. And like, trust me, I still get scared, but you're also talking to, two middle-aged dudes. So it's
who have been we've
better on
been on this pony before. Like I've seen enough horror movies. Like nothing really gets me anymore.
Yeah, it's like different shit scares me. This doesn't scare me. Now, if I was, 12 years old, maybe it would. It didn't. I thought there were like some cool kills.
Yes.
But that doesn't make it scary. That's just
only thing that saved it.
The creative kills.
Yes.
Did you think it was funny at all?
Unintentionally, yes.
Okay, that's the thing. As a Danny McBride written movie, I thought it might be more intentionally funny. I'm with you. I think what they set out to be funny was
not funny.
And I agree. So Dork score, you already kind of tipped your hand.
It's a 2.
I was gonna go 2.5. I was thinking 3, but we just gave Venom a 3, or I gave Venom a 3, and Venom was better than this.
Correct.
We're on a shit run.
We are on a shit run right now.
Venom,
a lot of shark sandwiches going around right now.
A ton of Magneto helmets.
A ton of them. Yep.
So I'll go 2.5. You're going 2. So add it together. We got a 2.25 for Halloween kills.
I'm surprised that we haven't used a 3 as a shark sandwich.
Yeah, but shark sandwich, that might even be too high.
Sandwich
3?
Shit
That's not terrible.
Yeah.
All right. I assume nothing else spoiler free.
No.
Yeah.
Spoilers! Here come the spoilers!
All right, so let's. This is how we'll do it this week. Let's kind of rip through the film. I have a brief outline of the movie, and then you can add any comments that you want while I'm going through it, and then we can discuss some more things at the end. But basically, this movie picks up kind of where the last movie left off, which was in Haddonfield, 2018. And Deputy Frank Hawkins, who was played by Will Patton in the first one, is found bleeding out. And
having been stabbed in the neck by the doctor who was helping Michael Myers. Yeah.
He's bleeding out, and he ends up going to the hospital. And then he remembers. So now he was 40 years ago, which is when the OG movie came out, 1978. He remembers being there that night. He was like a young cop at the time, and he was in the Myers house with Michael Myers and his partner. Michael Myers had his partner, was choking him, and then fucking this guy is the worst shot in the world.
Yeah.
And kills his partner. And not only did he kill his partner, but then they get outside of the Myers house, and Dr. Loomis is about to put a bullet in Michael Myers' brain, and this guy saves him by yanking his arm away.
And why? Why?
I don't know.
He gives this explanation, which is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because I thought somewhere in there that this was someone's baby boy. But now I see that it's nothing there. It's just evil. And then he goes, there were some weird, dumb monologues in this movie too.
There were some odd ones. Yeah, there were some real odd ones. But this was supposed to be like a real pivotal character and like a bridge from the past to the present.
Which is like, fucking... so you never saw that in the first one. Like that was never a thing.
Character sucked. And so anyway, you never saw that character. They did do a good job of like of Loomis. Loomis looked like Loomis. Obviously, Donald Pleasance, or as Goo would say, Donald Pleasance is no longer with us, but they did a good job of recreating.
They did.
Him.
And so I think all the budget, instead of going to the script, went to that special effect. So
all right, so now you have Tommy Doyle, as played by Anthony Michael Hall, who of course was one of the kids being babysat on Halloween night by Lori, and actually it was Lori's friend Annie Brackett who had Tommy.
Yes.
Or no. I'm sorry. Lori had Tommy and Annie had Lindsay. But then obviously Lori ends up with both of them. So Tommy Doyle is celebrating the 40-year anniversary, and he is with Lindsay Wallace and Lonnie, another kid who from the original saw Michael Myers.
Did that happen in the? I don't remember that happening in the original.
I think there's a Lonnie in the first one.
That's what I thought. I thought that character. It's such a minor thing that I thought that character was made up for this movie.
So bad job out of me. I should have watched the original again,
Same.
but I'm 99% sure that kid at least is referenced in that one.
Okay.
I think there is a Lonnie. Somebody can double check me. And then Marion Chambers, who is the nurse that like he escapes from, and like she's in it but survives.
She looks 100 years old in this movie.
She probably is.
I know. And Kyle Richards, who played Lindsay, she's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills now. I think she's blocked my wife on Twitter. So
Yep. Okay. As I say, I know her because my wife watches, but that was really her. So they got her, who was in that one. She, believe it or not, might be the best actress in the movie.
Amazingly. Like I know it's slim pickings here, but
yeah.
She was good. She wasn't bad.
Why? I wonder why do you think it was too big of a role, or why didn't they get the kid who originally played Tommy Doyle to be back?
My guess is he hasn't acted in some time. And
maybe not. His name's Brian Andrews. Yeah, I can't see what else he was in. So.
Yeah, I think he's done acting.
Yeah, he is best known for his role in Halloween, it says. So that sounds about right. And this role was obviously pretty big. So then you flash to Lori. So it cuts to Jamie Lee Curtis, and this is the very end of the last movie that we saw. Yeah. Lori and her daughter Karen, played by Judy Greer, and her daughter Allison are in the truck. They are leaving the house, and they see the fire trucks go into that house, and they're freaking out. Like, don't go there, don't go there.
Like, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Yeah.
Michael comes out of the house and murders all of the firefighters,
which is pretty cool. Like, one of the best.
Sorry, Mac, but he killed all the firefighters.
And I liked there was one kill that was like you see it through the gas mask, like through the that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was definitely the best part of the movie. Was some
good kills,
how they like uniquely killed guys.
And this is the only reason this wasn't chode jeans to me. It was because the kills were good.
Probably right. Yep. Probably right. So this is what's crazy to me, and I'll mention this now. So Lori needs surgery. So Lori, Jamie Lee Curtis, is not in most of the movie, and she's in the hospital for part of it. Here's what's fucked up to me. So the whole idea of the Danny McBride Halloween verse is to ignore the sequels, both the decent and the shitty sequels, to ignore all the sequels. Do you know what they do though in this, Ryan?
What?
They go to the hospital, which is exactly what they did in Halloween 2. There is a huge mob after Michael Myers, which they did in 4 and 5, I think. Tommy Doyle's a main character, which is what they did in 6.
Right.
And I'm like, you're just bringing back you tried to ignore
played by Paul Rudd.
Played by Paul
Rudd
in one of his early films.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like, you're like, oh, we're gonna do this better, but we don't have any better ideas, so we're just gonna do all the shit that they did.
Okay, so and this is where the movie lost me.
Yeah.
Because there has been I made a short list of horror movies that aren't about what you think they're about.
Okay.
Right. So for instance, sorry. I'm getting to so like I was reading this like Cronenberg's The Fly with Jeff Goldblum is about like the AIDS epidemic.
Okay.
Candyman is about like gentrification of neighborhoods. Dawn of the Dead in the Mall is about like American consumerism and like all this stuff. So there's a way to do this. Pan's Labyrinth is about like fascism. So it's like all this shit. Like there's a way to do this creatively. What this movie tries to do is this cautionary tale about like fear and mob violence, like stuff that we've seen currently in the news with like all the, riots and all that stuff. So for lack of a better term, just completely hits you over the head with this shit. And like, we've discussed the character of Michael Myers before, and that guy being just the embodiment, the boogeyman. He's fear. Like he is fear walking, right? And what they try to do is like, no. And there's that whole fucking stupid Will Pat, like that whole monologue about how we're the monsters. Like, get the fuck out of like that's the exact opposite of what these movies are.
Yeah, right.
Like that, and they completely missed on that.
Yeah.
Like somehow being sympathetic to Michael Myers, like fuck that. Like no way. No way.
He killed. So there's no reason to be sympathetic. Like the people he killed and how he killed them in the first one, which again is canon. That is part of this universe. No. He also killed his sister for no reason when he was a little kid.
Because he wanted, because whatever. But like to somehow rationalize why he did, and the whole thing with like him looking out the window, but he was really like looking at his reflection. Like, take a look at yourself. Like that whole thing was just so fucking stupid.
Bloody hell, what was that?
Exactly. Like
that's why
I'm so pissed about it.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb. It really was. Now, there's a whole bunch of nonsense, including a storyline about one of the other escaped inmates, and everybody's after him, and then he ends up committing suicide.
But he wasn't the real guy.
And the whole thing. Yeah. So there's a ton of nonsense. Then the whole town gangs up.
I'm out.
Go ahead.
I wrote this in my copious notes. Why did it take them so long to fucking catch that guy?
I don't know.
They were running around a hotel. He didn't know where he was going. They knew the layout of the hotel, and they couldn't fucking catch that guy.
I don't know.
He was
in the hospital.
What the hell?
I don't know.
What was that?
Bloody hell! What was that? So then they end up getting Michael Myers, and a good job by Judy Greer, and they get him. They corner him. They beat him to death with 2x4s, and they're kicking them, and they're punching them. They're doing the whole thing.
No one brought a gun. They had guns. Who knows what they did with them?
And then they were like, all right, good, we got him. And like, they don't take him anywhere. They don't do anything. Half of them get up and leave. And then he stands up and just murders a whole bunch of them, including Tommy Doyle.
Yep.
And you're like, okay. And they also kind of make reference to the fact that he may be superhuman.
Right.
They don't confirm it, but they're like, he's not a man. He's not a man. So then
I think don't they at one point say superhuman strength?
I think so.
Yeah.
So then he eventually goes back to, so he leaves, he kills a whole bunch of people and everybody's already left. So he just kills them. It's just like, okay, not really explained. Then he wanders back to his old childhood home. And this is like, you think the movie's over. And then
it should have been.
And then in like the closing 10 seconds, he goes up to his room and murders Karen, who's like one of the main characters. And you're like, wait, the movie's still going? Oh, one of the now she's dead. Is she dead? And then it's like credits.
I hope so, because she stunk. Like the whole the whole thing with like her trying to keep Jamie Lee Curtis like in bed.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, and the whole point where she's like, if I die, Michael dies. Like the whole he's coming after me.
But also, is he coming after her?
They made it so confusing because then
she's like convinced. But what's funny is like she's convinced Jamie Lee Curtis is playing the character from like H2O and like Halloween 2 and like those movies. Whereas in this one, he went back to Haddonfield because his doctor made him. I don't think he really cares about Jamie Lee Curtis.
And I think they set that up weirdly though, because then the whole thing with the cop was like, no, he's after me. It's my fault. It's not your fault. It's my fault. It's like, hold on.
Yeah, what
the fuck is going on? What is the point of any of this right now? You know?
Yeah.
And I think this is just, I don't think some sequels have been bad. Like it's hard to make sequels.
Oh yeah.
This was such a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Like I've never, like the likes of which I've never seen.
This one.
Like you had some momentum going.
I know.
We all knew Michael Myers was going to get out of that house. We just didn't know why. Right. And then you're like, good God. Like,
good golly.
How bad is that?
Pretty bad. So, how about Lenny Clark being in the movie?
Lenny died. He died well.
He had a cool death.
He did.
but it was like out of nowhere, and like so they did these scenes,
and I think I may have been overserved at the time, but I went,
perhaps.
Oh no, Lenny Clark kid. They got Lenny.
So Lenny Clark dies, and there's like a scene with Lenny Clark and his, I don't know if that's his wife or if that, whatever.
She was the nurse at the hospital. Yeah, that was the connection there.
But like, all right. And then you have the Big John and Little John who live in the Myers house.
Was the stupidest thing. Like, why? Like, why even attempt to develop those characters? Who cares who lives in that house right now?
Right, and then they have like the thing with the trick-or-treaters, then they have the thing with themselves, and then you're like, all right, so they live in the Myers house.
And by the way, what else pissed me off too is if that happened in your hometown of Dunbarton, New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'd know about it?
The Myers house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody in this town have any idea what they're talking about?
Yeah, you think that'd be a pretty major deal.
Like on Halloween.
Yeah.
No, but they're like talking to those kids, like, do you know whose house this is?
Oh,
like,
on Halloween.
Of course, yeah. I'd be like, and walking, I'd be like, of course I do. Like, that's the Myers house. Like, of course I know who.
Pretty significant house. I'm surprised it hasn't been torn down at this point.
Exactly. Like, that would be in Nashua, New Hampshire. That would be like, oh, that house. Like, you know that house. You know what I mean?
That house. The person running it would either have it as a bed and breakfast for psychopaths, or they would tear it down and build a new one,
or they do an adult tour.
Are there ghosts?
I teed you right up. You should be ready to go.
Any of these little fuckers ever pop out of the fucking wall and say, fuck, there's a horse cock in my room or a donkey dick?
Yeah.
Some of them do. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's just all that. But to me, those scenes, like the Lenny Clark, the Big John, Little John.
That's where he goes, I have this knife. And then Little John goes, I have this knife.
It felt very Halloween 4, 5, 6. Like it fit right in with Halloween 4, 5,
and they're going to come and they said they did that on purpose. Like they wanted to have it the feel of the sequels. Like, no, you're a fucking liar. You screwed up and this movie stunk. Big John, Little John was the weirdest. I was like laughing out loud.
That was odd.
And the whole time we were watching, I forget the guy's name, Michael something. He was on Mad TV, Stewart.
Yeah. Oh, Michael.
You know the guy who played Stewart on Mad TV?
Yeah.
And the whole time he's running around the house, Ryan and I are going, don't go that way, Stewart. And he's like, look what I can do. Like
the other guy, he's the other guy too, was in the show with the Mick with Caitlin Olsen from Always Sunny. He's actually kind of funny. To me, he's almost like a diet Danny McBride. And
like the Danny McBride you order on Wish.
Yeah. And like
Danny McBride.
And they casted him, so I thought that was kind of.
He is the Friars Magneto helmet.
Yeah,
Danny McBride.
Also, the guy who played Lonnie was in Midnight Mass, so that guy's having a little bit of a run.
I saw that.
Good for him.
I saw that. Yeah.
I like the scene where Jamie Lee Curtis just got out of bed and stabbed herself with a needle in the.
And it was chock full. Whatever she pumped herself full of would have killed her.
And that didn't really seem to matter at all in the whole scheme of things. There was also that one scene where it was just chaos in the hospital, like the mob kind of
trying to find the guy who like teenagers couldn't catch like an 80-year-old guy shuffling through a hospital.
And Judy Greer goes running up the stairs, and that one guy like truck sticked her, and you're like, what the fuck? Like out of nowhere, like Terry Tate, office linebacker, sticks her into the wall, and she just like gets up and keeps going. I'm like, all right, well, that's just kind of chaotic. I don't know. It really
stinks.
Also, you bring back Annie Brackett's dad, the cop, and now he's just like 40 years later, he's just working security at the hospital, evidently.
Again, 100 years old.
And then he even at the very end of the movie drops the everybody's entitled to one good scare. I'm like, ugh, the fucking line you said before, you idiot.
And again, you ignore these sequels only to bring the worst parts of them back.
Are you excited for Halloween Ends?
Not anymore. I don't care about it.
Anything. So the only redeeming factor I would have to say is probably the kills. Like you said, there were some cool, like knives to the eye, nice to like the face. Like they did like, and like all of that I don't know what you'd call it, like the makeup or the prosthetic or whatever. Like they did a good job with that.
So the one thing that really fucking pissed me off too is I knew it was going to be a bad movie because this happened right in the beginning. The couple who was like the doctor and the nurse for Halloween.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She comes out and tells her husband that there's someone in their car, that Michael Myers is in their car. And he goes out to check and he goes, I forgot my stethoscope and had to go back and get it.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Pretty much.
Come on, man.
Gotta go get that. Gotta get it. Oh, God.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Movie stinks.
She ripped his mask off too at one point. Like his mask was off. And you're like, oh, we're gonna see him? And they're like, not really. And then you like put the mask on. You thought he was dead. Then he gets up and kills everybody. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, what are they gonna do with the next one? And like, really, Jamie Lee Curtis was a minor character in this movie.
I thought she was gonna die.
Really?
Yep. I thought they were gonna kill her off, and then
her
whole plan of like her sacrifice was gonna like not work, and so that would carry on to the next one. But
do you think she dies in the next one?
It says Halloween ends, you know. So
yeah, but that could be Michael Myers. Michael Myers could be dead.
No, you can't kill him.
You can't. No, you can't.
No, that's the whole point of him.
This was a letdown.
It was a super letdown.
We've seen a bunch of shit lately.
Just a bunch of shit. I'm in line for a good movie. What's next? Eternals?
Yeah, that movie looks like shit too, if you ask me.
Early reviews have been positive. I saw one thing that was
Eternals. Oh, Dune.
Oh, Dune. Yeah.
I don't want the movie Dune in my chocolatey drink.
Someone wrote an article and they were being very cheeky. They said that Eternals is positioned to be the best Marvel movie since Shang-Chi.
Hilarious. I think it's gonna be the worst of the year, and I think it's gonna be terrible. But that's just me.
Anticipated movie of the year right now.
I'm going in with my eyes wide open and
with arms wide open.
Yeah, with my arms wide open.
With Scott Stapp
said. Arms wide open. Anything else on how Halloween?
No, fuck this movie. I hate it. Fuck it in its eye socket. I hate it.
Fuck it to the sun. I don't want to see this movie ever.
Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb. Pick of the bomb.
All right, Ryan, would you like to kick, receive, defer, or you may also choose at this time to defend a goal?
So I have some things that I want to share. So if you like intentionally shitty horror movies, I have found a treasure trove on Prime Video. So here's an incomplete list. Here's an incomplete list of horror movies that are currently on Amazon Prime Video right now.
Last week, I saw a film. As I recall, it was a horror film.
Creepshow 1 and 2. They're kind of like, we didn't mention these. Like I don't think we've ever mentioned these in a Dorktober, but these are some of the better like short vignette movies.
Was Creepshow George Romero?
George Romero and Stephen King.
Okay, I saw that. I actually saw this is this is a weird thing. This was at the Capitol Center of the Arts in Concord, New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
I went with my dad years and years ago to a showing of that movie, and George A. Romero was there and like discussed it like before and after. It was like pretty good. It was like a double showing. That was one of the movies that they showed. It was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and I think so. If you haven't seen Creepshow and you're a horror movie fan, please. You're not a horror movie fan if you haven't seen Creepshow. But anyway, 1 and 2. The Nicolas Cage Wicker Man is on Prime Video.
Wow, that is
one of the worst horror movies worst movies period I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Chud,
Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers,
is on Prime Video right now for free. And then there's a relatively new movie. Let me pitch this to you. There is a priest who travels to China. He realizes that he can turn himself into a dinosaur. A prostitute convinces him to use his powers to fight gangsters and ninjas. Now he's in China fighting ninjas. China, ninjas are Japanese, whatever.
Seems like a mess.
So a priest travels to China, realizes he can turn into a dinosaur.
Prostitute.
The name of the movie is The Velocipaster.
Yeah, obviously I'm gonna watch that.
Obviously, I'm gonna watch the shit out of that movie,
Of
right?
course I'm gonna watch the Velocipaster, Ryan. You didn't even have to say anything.
And the one horror movie that's on Amazon Prime right now, if you haven't seen it, Korean film Train to Busan. If you haven't seen that, go check out Train to Busan. It's on Amazon Prime.
All right.
Chud jeans.
I got a little promotion, Ryan. We're going to break out this Wednesday. So we're recording this on a Monday night. Most people listen to it on a Tuesday, or at least they download it. Hopefully you listen to it on a Tuesday. And if you're listening to it on a Wednesday, it's tonight. If you're listening to it on a Tuesday, it's tomorrow.
If you listen on Thursday, you missed it.
Wow. So Wednesday night, we'll tweet it out. Also, another reason to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/dork podcast. Tell a friend, tell a dork, subscribe there. We're going to break out a dink. We're going to be joined by none other than Jason Rossi.
Gonna whip out a dink as much as you can whip out a dink.
The best we can.
Can't really whip it out. No flop there.
We're going to peek out a dink, and it is going to be the 1997 classic, I Know What You Did Last Summer. The series is, I believe, out. I haven't started it yet, but we are going to review that. So Jason Rossi, he of the Dorktober 6, Jason Rossi Lives. He is going to join us. As Josh just said, we're going to wink a dink. Our dink will wink this Wednesday night. A short episode, probably YouTube exclusive. Talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It's always interesting to hear Jason Rossi's thoughts on anything.
He is a man of many opinions.
This is This Week in Horrible Rossi Takes.
I would not be surprised if 1, 2, or 12 present itself next week. Or I'm sorry,
all contradicting themselves.
Perhaps it could happen. Yeah. And next week, Ryan, I know you've seen some. I've seen a shitload of 2021 horror movies, including Halloween Kills. I'll have my rankings. I've seen a bunch of them, and we'll just rapid fire. I'll say spoiler-ish. We won't go full spoilers on it, but we'll sort of toss out the ones that you should watch, the ones you shouldn't, and then maybe some of the discussion points on the ones that I have seen. I'm trying to think the best one so far. Maybe Werewolves Within, that Sam Richardson movie. That was pretty good. But there's been a lot of them. We saw
Candyman. What about Candyman?
Oh, no, that one was better. Candyman was better. Yep. Candyman was really good. The Conjuring one was not.
Ooh, that was chode jeans.
We did a standalone on that. That was not great. There was a foreign film called Blood Red Sky that's on Netflix. That is
that's the one that's vampires on a plane, right?
Yep.
Too many vampires on this motherfucking plane. Too many motherfucking vampires on this motherfucking plane. Yeah,
pretty much.
I got some homework to do. I got some catch up to do this week, but I'll be ready for.
Yeah, I'll send you the list, and then as many as you can get to. Feel free to get to. Oh, also, at some point when it's done, we'll do an episode on Why the Last Man. Unfortunately, it sounds like it got canceled. There will not be a season 2 on Hulu. However, the people in charge of the show are like adamant that they're going to find another place.
They're shopping it around, and I think HBO would be a great home for this.
Yeah, I think HBO would too, or why not Netflix?
Why not Netflix?
Yeah, they can.
Netflix continually churns out, and again, I'll a bit of a hot take. 10% of Netflix is good. 90% of it is shit.
But there's so much of it that
there's so much of it that like you could bury Why the Last Man. Like, how does the Umbrella Academy do well and Why the Last Man doesn't? That's not to say that the properties aren't good, but like Umbrella Academy is fine. Yeah, but like Why the Last Man? There's so much meat on that bone. Like, how do you not do that right?
I'm 2 episodes into Squid Game finally.
Oh yeah, what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
So I don't fucking like how. I don't like dubbed shows. I would rather just read all subtitles.
You can do that.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you don't have to watch it dubbed.
Oh my God, the dub is driving me nuts.
I hate dub.
I'd rather hear the actor's voice, and even if I don't understand the language, I can read it, and then you just sort of the dubbed is fucked. And sometimes the dub and the subtitle like don't line up.
Right.
And you're like, he just said, I'm reading. Oh, I can turn the dub off? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, good. That'll help.
It does. It helps a lot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can let us know what you guys thought about Halloween Kills. Let us know what you thought about DC FanDome. Obviously, the Batman trailer. You could tweet us at Dork Podcast. Oh, I meant to bring back Should I Have Bought This? You guys, by the way, can email dorkpodcast@gmail.com your thoughts on today's episode, but also your should I have bought this, anything over $25, and we'll let you know should you have bought this. We have several in the hopper that I got to get to, but continue to send those in. Next week, we're going to do 2021 horror movies. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend, tell a dork. Anything else, Ryan, I'm missing?
That's it.
You don't give a shit, do you?
What'd you say? I
said, you don't give a shit, do you?
Not really.